Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the 3 Count. I'm the third place champion, War Machine MJ, and I almost forgot the name of the show. I'm also drinking some strawberry kiwi. Yeah, my throat is just kind of after recording Dynamite. So, well, after recording the Elite Count, I just got done with it minutes ago. So, I'm here today to talk about Smackdown from last week. We kicked off the show with a parade of champions, which it was just the women's tag team champions Natalya and Tamina, the Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews and his commander Aziz, Bianca Belair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Rey and Dom, the first ever father-son tag team champions. But they're also the SmackDown tag team champions. Meanwhile, Sonya Deville's in the ring, and they made an announcement that WWE is hitting the road. Yes, WWE is going to be going back to live events. So, we can finally go beyond the Thunderdome. I just winked. You didn't know that, but I winked. Sonya Deville goes off on, she pays special attention to each of the champions, and when she gets to Apollo Crews, talking about how he's going to defend his title in a fatal four-way, he says, no, I am going to destroy them destroy them and retain my title. Well, then, Sonya Deville tries to announce Roman Reigns, the current reigning, defending Universal Champion. But Paul Heyman comes out. And he says, this isn't a parade of champions, it's a parade of title holders, of course, referring to both sets of tag team champions, the women's and the Intercontinental Champion. And he said, these are just title holders. The tribal chief Roman Reigns, he's a champion. And tonight, he will have a parade of champion. And then Paul Heyman just kind of shoves off. Next, Bayley comes out and just kind of commandeers the ring. And she starts running down Natalya and Tamina, running down Rey and Dom. All she says to Apollo Crews is, "What's up?" And then runs down Bianca Belair. And, she accuses Bianca Belair of cheating, using her hair as an illegal object, which, is that really illegal? It's kind of attached to her. It's not like she went under the ring and just... Yeah. But yeah, Bianca Belair hits the ring, gets in Bayley's face, and says, if you want the title, why don't you just try and take it? Of course, Bianca Belair gets jumped by Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, the former women's tag team champions. And Bayley joins in on the beatdown as well. And then Tamina and Natalya come in with the heels driving all the faces out before the commercial break. We come back from commercial and is a 6-woman tag team match as the SmackDown Women's Champion and the Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Tamina and Natalya take on Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Bayley. To be honest, I'm ready for this Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler tandem to be done, so Shayna Baszler can stop eating all these chumpy ass L's. Anyway, this was a pretty decent match. With all the other faces taken care of on the outside, Shayna Baszler hits Natalya with the Kirifuda clutch, and Natalya taps. So that gets Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax a, a second rematch next week on Raw. Okay. Next, we had a backstage promo from Big E talking about the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match later on in the night, and he essentially says there's going to be no doubt that he is the rightful Intercontinental Champion. Ooh. Yeah, that strawberry kiwi is really good. Next, we had King Corbin in the ring, talking shit about Shinsuke Nakamura stealing his crown last week and parading around town with it. And Corbin says he's going to destroy Nakamura tonight, take back his crown, and just disinfect the hell out of it. Then, of course, he's interrupted by this jack dude just shredding on an electric guitar. And it's none other than former NXT star Rick Boogs. Or if you've watched NXT long enough, you know that that's Eric Bugenhagen. Bugenhagen. Yeah, sidebar about this dude. This dude is charismatic as hell. And it's a shame that they weren't using him. Because when NXT had the trickle of live audio, of crew ringside, he was the loudest one. I mean, for a time it was really annoying because it was hard to get engaged with him shouting over everything. But, he's charismatic as hell. Anyway, Rick Boogs comes out there and he says he's here to rock out with the real king of Smackdown. And then Rick Boogs plays Nakamura to the ring with an electric guitar version of Shinsuke's theme. So, already with Shinsuke's killer theme, we've had 3 different renditions. Had the original with the violin. We've had the Japanese rap. Now we have the electric guitar, and it was just mwah. This was a back and forth match. Towards the finish, Baron Corbin is distracted by Rick Boogs, who's on the commentator's table, just shredding some of Shinsuke's theme, which leads Shinsuke to roll up Corbin for the win. Now, when Rick Boogs was shredding Shinsuke Nakamura to the ring earlier, Pat McAfee was he was hype. He was all over Michael Cole. He was just jamming out, and I felt that. Because I was like, dude, this is awesome. I'm glad they're doing something with Rick Boogs. It's great. He's charismatic as hell. Next, we had a backstage segment where Jimmy Uso asked Sonya Deville for a tag team match. And asked for the Usos versus the Street Profits. Sonya Deville asked if Jay's okay with this, and Jimmy says, "Hey, he knows Jay's down for a fight," and then makes the match official. Next, we had the Parade of Champion with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jay Uso. Roman, he says a little bit, which is essentially, I don't want to brag, but here's somebody to do it for me. So he hands the mic to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman just he goes on a tangent about how great Roman Reigns is. Kind of the same spiel he did for Brock Lesnar. And then Heyman asks Roman if there's anything else he needs, and Roman just calmly says, "Bring out my cousin." Now, I'll take this as for a little break to go on a tangent here. I haven't talked about Roman Reigns on on the camera, since it started. But all three of us agree this is the best Roman Reigns we have seen. Everything is just pure artistry with him. Like the slow talk, the the the, the plotting, methodical verbiage, and just the quick to anger, and it's not a intense kind of speaking when he loses his cool. It's visible, like he loses composure. It's just, oh my god, it is beautiful. This was the Roman Reigns we've been waiting to see. Not that clean as a whistle, always triumph, not that John Cena clone. This is what we needed to see. It's pretty much Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman sat down and watched The Godfather. It's almost like Roman Reigns took notes on shit. Guy that played The Godfather. Marlon Brando. It's almost like he studied Marlon Brando, just the slow, calm, cool talk. Just amazing. Anyway, back to the segment. Roman tells Heyman to get his cousin Jimmy, and Heyman is yelling at the production assistant over the timekeeper's area. He's like, "Get Jimmy Uso, hit Jimmy Uso's music." Well, Cesaro comes out and says he's not done with Roman, and he's going to be gunning for him for another match before Cesaro is jumped by the drip god himself, Seth Rollins, wearing just more class suits. Chef's kiss. Just including that ensemble he was wearing at Backlash. Just can't get enough of it. He beats down on Cesaro, works over his already injured arm, and curb stomps him a couple of times. And just keeps go on a maniacal rant about who do you think you are? You brought this on yourself. All that, this, that, and the other. Immediately backstage, Seth Rollins is interviewed by Caleb Braxton, and he's just like, I don't know what happened. I just blacked out, and then he sees Cesaro getting carried away on a gurney and flips his shit even more and just beats the hell out of him. And he's just maniacally yelling at Cesaro, "Why are you making me do this to you?" Next, we had a backstage segment next we had an in-ring segment where the Mysterios are celebrating about how everything is spunky dory, that they're the first ever father-son tag team in WWE, or father-son tag team champions. And Bob Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, basically says Dominic doesn't belong there. Take your son to work day ends now. And that leads to this match between Rob Roode and Dominic Mysterio. The finish came when Dominic hits a 619 near the corner, taking out Roode and hitting him with the 5-star frog splash for the win. Next, we had a segment from inside Roman's private dressing room. Or I'm sorry, no, we had another backstage segment where Jay asked Jimmy why he made that tag team match without talking to him. And Jimmy just basically said, "Roman, he don't need you. So, fuck him." And Jay says, "Well, I got to clear it by, the chief first." And He says he owes Roman that much. And then we cut back to Roman's dressing room, where Jay walks in and he tells he tells Roman that Jimmy made a match without checking first. And Roman cuts Jay off and says, he tells him that the real we is the two of us, because Jay tries to say we, referring to him and his brother, but no, it's Roman's like, the only we is you and me. And then he calls Jimmy selfish as he hugs Jay. And it's unsettling, but it's really, really good. Like, this is the best character in WWE right now. Next, we had a backstage promo from Aleister Black, the most recent in his series of Tales of the Dark Father. And here it's the culmination of all of his lessons, and he talks about how all the lessons he's learned has been imprinted onto his body with, all the tattoos that have been put there. And he finishes his promo by saying, it's time to cull the herd. Next, we had a backstage promo where the Street Profits are clowning on the Usos and their family business. And then Montez Ford then makes a play on the Usos' old motto, it's not paranoia, it's the Street Profits, and they want the smoke. Next, we had Sami Zayn going on a maniacal tirade with Kayla Braxton. I can't get my words out. And he says he's gonna win tonight, and all the persecution ends tonight. And we get an absolute crack bang fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. The finish came when Big E and Apollo Crews were the last two in the ring. Big E hits the big ending on Crews. Commander Aziz pulls Big E out of the ring. Big E throws him into the barricade. And then the entire stage is covered in fog, which, distracts Big E as, he gets set up for the finale. Aleister Black finally comes out of that room. Finally comes out of that room, makes his appearance, eyes locked in on Big E. Apollo Crews grabs Big E's leg, and Aleister Black hits Big E with a flush Black Mass, and Apollo Crews picks up the win over Big E. Apollo Crews is still the Intercontinental Champion, with Aleister Black making his sights set on Big E. Now, sidebar about Aleister Black. Again, it's about time they got him out of that room. God, he's been there since his debut when he wanted everyone to pick a fight with him. Just, oh, God. Anyway. Yeah, they finally got that Joseph Seed looking mother out of there. So, interesting to see where it goes from here. Oh, and by the way, Joseph Seed is the villain from Far Cry 5. Cheers. Anyway, that is the rundown of Smackdown. So, that being said, I am your third place champion as of Backlash. The face of the 3-count Mafia, War Machine MJ, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.